Hey guys, how's it going? It's Invicta TV here, and bringing a new Trials map this week. Well, I don't know if I've ever played Trials on the Dungeons. If I did, I think I did like one card, maybe two. I think it's only been out once for this map before. Look at that found verdict in use, unbelievable. But for the most part, I think it was the Trials map once. Everyone hated it. Bungie never put it out again until now. They seem to be making all the exceptions for year 3. But without further ado, I kind of want to talk about the generic strategy for this map and certain angles and things. And so I kind of want let's just go ahead and get right into that. No need to continue this intro, basically. Now, you saw there that guy pushed up a shotgun. He is playing very aggressive this game. Kind of shout out to him, Ika Bubs. He was carrying his team. No land is a pretty good weapon option on this map. And one thing I saw coming out a lot is Burning Eye with, what's it called? Explosive rounds. I don't know why. I've seen a couple teams use this map over the couple cards I played. Those aren't really great guns, but the explosive rounds is kind of annoying. Good against laning and sniping, perhaps. Also can get hits around people hiding behind the obstacles, perhaps. I don't know. If you are into that kind of weapon, maybe you want to check it out, pull it out on this map. That being said, this is a map that features actually a good amount of, short, medium, and long range fights. So you definitely want a pulse or a scout rifle as your primary to go with secondary wormwood, or if you're using something like icebreaker, which probably isn't as good on this map as some others, then you want to run obviously maybe a hand cannon, also still maybe a pulse rifle. You probably still want something that you can really use effectively up close, so like a hand cannon. Once more, I do want to shout out this Ika Bubs guy. He is not really showing up yet, but he warms up a bit, and he starts landing some real good no land shots. Just putting that stuff to use, it's a very good weapon, even after its flinch nerf. And if you don't already know, if you have the ornament for it, you can reduce all weapon sway, which makes it that much nicer. However, other than that, one thing that you'll see Nerve and I guess you won't see Nerve doing it, but we like pushing right angles for the most part, and that has to do with I use my sword to peek corners, and if I can peek right corners, then I can do my little trick where I pop out. Already aiming on their head, pop out, throw a sticky, stuff like that. So if you can use those kinds of things to overcome your opponents, especially pushing this room, if you spawn on the other side, going around the right side of the map and coming behind them so that you can simply push right angles the whole time, it's the same push that you have to make just from the other side, and be able to, if you use a sword the way I do, really be able to do that effectively. For the most part, this point spawns down below on that right side of the map from our spawn, where the 2 special spawns, which is a pretty broken point for spawn to be, or excuse me, the point to be, because the people that secure that spot first are the people that can go ahead and really look at that snipe, getting shot by the guy on the left, and I hit him once in the head, and he still gets a headshot. That's luck. That's not entirely skill right there. Yeah, that point over on the right side is quite ridiculous, because if you secure that spot and you hold it the whole game, preferably with a defender as well, you get 2 special while you're at it. So you can use shotguns, you can use any real special weapon, you got more ammo for everything, and it's so much easier to lock it down, basically guaranteed that way. Granted, if you secure that spot, you do give up the other 2 special, and I suggest for those who are pushing people waiting there, that you do in fact use the opportunity to, if you need to play it slow, just get your special, then play. Maybe swap your weapon to a better special weapon for that round, etc. That way you can push in with maybe shotguns, snipers, etc. So yeah, that being said, you see that left lane basically was pretty it's a pretty good snipe spot. It's a pretty good long range fight area. A lot of like head glitching going on with the different levels. I wanted to push up aggressively here. I can't believe that sticky didn't hit. I'm gonna go ahead and push him around the right side though. I know he's a bit weak. My melee can finish him off if I hit it. And if not, then I can put the extra shot in. Look at that beautiful. So assessing your threats is really important. The first thing I looked for when I got that first kill on the guy with my superior broken aim assist melee is I looked down at the bottom left and see who pulled heavy. I saw the heavy disappeared off my screen. I see that the other team pulled it on my bottom left where it calls it out, and I went ahead and look at that snipe. There we go. Easy round. Nerve went ahead and tethered. Unfortunately, there was a miscommunication. Nerve had his headset off. The other guy did call out he was going to void first, so they ended up that was the carry. They both ended up using their supers, which was a bit of a waste. I don't recommend that. That was just a mistake in this moment. But the first thing I did was, assess who got heavy, did they get heavy, and once I did, I looked on the right side to see if he was pushing forward with it. He wasn't, which means I knew he must have been going left. With a quick slide over to my left, I snapped right onto his head, and that was a saving grace that round, just in case. I mean, we probably still would have had it anyway, 3v2 by that point, but heavy's a big deal, and it was immediately shut down because of that, basically. The other teammate of his did not already have heavy, and it was an easy cleanup after that. Make sure to always assess your threats. When you get a kill and if there's nobody on your screen, look at your radar. Look at somewhere else on the screen where you can get some good info. Go ahead and throw that sticky grenade out there. Wait for jump high so I can be above his aim for when he makes that push. And then, of course, just by this point, it's just finishing the last kill. Always play that height game as well. When people are pushing you around corners and they expect you to just kind of be standing there ready to shoot them back, just go ahead and glide in the air, double jump to the ceiling, Titan skate upwards. There's no need to be right in their angle, right in their screen from the start. Make it more work for them because it gives you an advantage in the end as well. I know that there was maybe an idea too that didn't completely get talked in full about, but for the most part, that's the general strategy here on dungeons. Really, that one long hallway is the one that doesn't have the two special spawns, basically not underneath, is a very good long range encounter, very good for sniping, very easy for laning. In fact, it is a clusterfuck sometimes because you can also have a teammate go through the middle tunnels and come down that mid tunnel that connects for the hallway to the middle room with the drop down, and I've seen plays like that work really well, especially when my team executed it. It works out pretty well, just getting that side angle or maybe going for a flank of some kind. Really keep in mind that you don't have to push the hard angles at all. Also keep in mind, I almost never recommend dropping down that tunnel, especially if they're camping down there already and they have that point. Unless you're trying to push them from multiple angles in a pincer kind of attack, don't push down that tunnel. Definitely don't push down that tunnel as a team. You're just going to get naded out. It's a terrible, terrible strategy. That kind of thing only works in a completely moving game environment like Control and stuff like that, where they aren't necessarily locking down specifically that bottom room. Other than that, guys, I'd suggest going with something more long range for your primary this weekend. Sounds a little bit weird because it's all an inside based map, but the angles just kind of work out that way. The camping kind of works out that way. The laning kind of works out that way. So a scout rifle can actually do some work, especially something like Mita. Apparently Burning Eye can do some work. I do suggest a pulse myself, because basically every range that you'll be hitting at max damage anyway, and I prefer that to the consistency of those shots to a scout rifle. And then other than that, I definitely suggest sidearm for your secondary if you're providing yourself some kind of long range primary, whether it even be No Land Beyond or, like I said, the scouts and pulse rifle. Other than that, guys, don't want to get too carried away. I will be bringing more videos this weekend, of course, and I think that's it. So without further ado, this has been Invicta TV, and I'm out. Bye. If you guys are looking to support my work, please head over to patreon.com/InvictaTV. You can subscribe for $5 to participate in a monthly giveaway of $50 or more, as well as earn double the chance on Trials of Osiris raffles over on my Twitch. Every little bit helps, and I appreciate the support.